What's a piece of information that the world is not ready for? Bacteria is becoming more and more resistant to antibiotics and will eventually become immune to them. I would say, but you guys are not ready for it. If the power grid goes down for an extended period of time, there will be absolute chaos and mass casualties. Nuclear war could happen. There is so much microplastics in the world, it's become woven into what everything and everyone is made of. It's been proven to be in our brains, our blood, the water we drink, the food we eat, and even the air itself. It enters our children before they have even been born. The amount of microplastics in us increase year after year, and we can't avoid it. What will happen when it eventually reaches that critical tipping point to affect us severely? Reduced cognitive function? Sterility? Immune system shutdowns? Evolution into a plastic-based lifeform? If it ends up being bad enough, the world will become absolute chaos. There's a device in your car used to indicate when you are switching lanes and turning. There are such thing as shitty opinions that aren't worth hearing. Just because you're allowed to have them doesn't mean that you're automatically correct and free from criticism. People are equally allowed to call you shitty. Everyone thinks and feels differently than you. Flushed. 100 companies make over 70% of greenhouse emissions. Wouldn't you like to know? Weatherboy. I can pause online games. A lot of the world's problems are currently fixable. We aren't likely as a species to have the political will to address them before they become unfixable. Humans will never be able to all agree on anything. #WE all gonna die. There is no Santa. The breakthrough science and technology of kitten mittens. A geomagnetic storm like the Carrington event would cause cities to literally explode in flames. They are not that uncommon either. The first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie was a documentary, not fiction. There is no sanctuary. Everybody is making it up as they go along. A little bug is going to get you, someday. How much obesity is costing the world? It's a lot. There will never ever be world peace. Nobody likes you when you're 23. Mike and Will never happen. Face with hand over mouth. The worst thing in Area 51 is probably your search history, not aliens. Our species will never travel to an inhabitable planet before extinction. Johnny B. Good. The misery on this planet is entirely preventable, but we are being harvested for our loosh. No. All the cash in the world won't stop a war. You got lucky last time. But just deal with it and stop posting about being scared from California. Women in the 50s were on meth in the morning and benzos at night. That's how they raised kids. Stayed thin. And kept the house immaculate. The 50s housewife has and always will be an unattainable goal in the modern day. As shown by the most recent pandemic, humans would not survive an actual plague. We are a hair's breadth from famine at any time. It happens constantly, all over the planet. People have no idea how fragile food production and distribution systems are. Rains too much? Fungus destroys your crop. Rains too little? Topsoil blows off the field and there's nothing to plant into. Too cold? Seeds don't germinate. Too hot? Your pollinators didn't breed this season. Now there's no fruit to harvest. Climate change is going to bring huge food shortages and we're not prepared. We got a taste of it during the pandemic, but the entire system needs to change if we're going to adapt to 4C warming. As people have fewer children, old people will be a larger and larger share of the population and have more political and societal power. Society will spend less time investing in the future and dealing with emerging problems. more time relitigating controversies from decades prior when the people now in power had their formative experiences. Potatoes are more socially acceptable than tomatoes. Reddit karma isn't worth anything at all. People dislike you for your personality, not your looks. That there's a pre-recorded broadcast from the 90s for when the world ends. You cannot escape the Matrix. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us. But he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it. 'Cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it. Let the children use it. Let all the children boogie. That climate change is going to kill 30% of the human population. The religion that you're associated with is mostly due to where you were born and not some mythical voyage your supposed God has you on. You will probably only see 3 more new real Elder Scrolls games in your lifetime. 2 if you are already 50. And for the last one you could be too old to still enjoy it. Stop believing everything you think. That all of us are completely FCKED. That hands clapping, gay hands clapping, couples hands clapping, a hands clapping, just hands clapping, normal hands clapping, couples hands clapping. We are absolutely fucked by climate change and will have massive famine, flooding, and storms.